Parshas Beshalach. It says in the pasuk, when Klal Yisrael went out from Mitzrayim, V'lo nocham Elokim derech eretz plishtim. First pasuk in Beshalach. Hashem did not lead them through the land of the Plishtim, even though that's the closer route to leave Mitzrayim to go to Eretz Yisrael. Because Ki Amar Elokim, because Hashem said, Pen yinochem ha'om, the people might change their mind. B'roisem milchama, they might be confronted with a war. V'shavu Mitzrayim, if they see a war, they might return back to Mitzrayim. Who wants to go to war? That's what it says in the pasuk. And the questions are many. This is incredible. Everything that they were doing was sort of contrary to logic. Because to go back to Mitzrayim, even though there's a war, but they might, where would they want to go back to? They might want to go back to Mitzrayim. Why? It was so good in Mitzrayim. Redu Shana, 210 years they suffered under tyrannical kings of Egypt, and Inui Achar Inui, there was just torturous, and they would want to go back there. They see a war. If they leave and they are confronted by a war, they might want to go back to Mitzrayim. Doesn't make any sense. The last place in the world they should want to go to is Mitzrayim, is Egypt. That's question number one. Question number two, it's so contrary to logic, because where are they now? Right now, Hashem is Hoylech Lifneihem Yoimam Ba'amud Eish Lahoy Lahem. The Rebbeinu Shalom is mamish taking care of them. The Rebbeinu Shalom is protecting them. They might leave Hashem. They might want to go away from Hashem. Hashem is watching them, and they might want to leave Moshe Rabbeinu or Aaron. This is also contrary to logic. To leave, they're in such a good position right now. They're being led by HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And thirdly, what might cause them to want to go back to Mitzrayim? B'roisam milchama. They will see a war. They will be confronted with a war. So what? So what if there's a war? Hashem, look what Hashem did in Mitzrayim for them. Hashem turned over the whole Mitzrayim, and Dam, Tzvardei, Akinim, all the Makkahs. Hashem did so much to them. They were unaffected with all this. Hashem was watching them. And because they see a war, they're going to go back to Mitzrayim. Everything seems to be so contrary to logic. Mitzrayim is the last place they should want to go back to, and leave. Hashem Hoylech Lefneim Yoimam. Hashem is watching them. Hashem is leading them. And because they see a war, so what? They should not have been afraid of war, because Hashem was taking care of them. But a possible answer to all these difficult questions might be from a little story that I once heard. I once heard a story like this. A woman was pregnant, and the family and friends wanted to have like a dry run a few days before she was supposed to give birth, and they appointed person number one to take care of calling the doctor, and person number two was calling the taxi, person number three was calling the hospital. Everything they practiced every day was precision. Each one did exactly. This one took the suitcase, and this one called the taxi, and this one. Everything was precision. When it came the day that she was ready to give birth, that she had to go, there was such a panic. There was panic. Nobody did anything right. The one who took the one who was supposed to take the suitcase, nothing was done. Nobody called. No, they called. Everything was a behola. Everything was a tumulnish. And that is possibly the answer to all the questions, because even though they planned it logically, but logic is no match for emotions. When emotions set in, it just there was no room for any logic anymore. And that's exactly what happened to Mitzrayim. It seems to be contrary to logic to go back to Mitzrayim. But when there's when they see a war, they don't think straight. They don't realize that Hashem is with them. They don't realize anything. All they got to do is run. They got to go back, even though it didn't make any sense. We see from here something so important, that logic is no match for emotions. And that's the story of our lives. And that's what life is all about. We have things to do. The Rebbeinu Shalom wants us to learn Torah and do mitzvahs and do chesed and everything. And all kind of emotions stand in our path, our obstacles. And they pull us here and pull us there. Temptations and emotions and it just pulls us away from what we're doing. So we have to be aware that if we have logic and we understand what we have to do, not to let the emotions get the best of us. The Eibishter should help us. We should be zeicha to achieve this, that the logic should be able to control the emotions, not that the emotions should control the logic. We should be zeicha to this. Amen v'amen.